Hey everybody, this is Michelle Rushing with Stampin' Butterfly. I hope you guys are having a good night. Thanks so much for joining me. Tonight we have our Make It Monthly event. So once a month I come to you and we make some stamping projects. It's the third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Central. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are out there, give me a shout out. So let me know you're there. I can't see your comment. Well, I can see your comments once you put stuff in there, but I'm not sure who's out there. So I'd love to see a hello if you're there. Hi, Hannah. All right, woohoo, my comments are working. Anyway, so tonight, since we're kind of close to Christmas time and people have already sent out their Christmas cards, well, maybe I haven't finished mine yet. But so tonight we're going to make some Christmas tags with some last chance products. So these are still available for sale. And then we will make a birthday card with a stamp set that I ordered a bit ago and has been sitting impatiently waiting for me to play. So we're going to use that one as well. So let's take a look and I'll give you some information. Not sure why my lighting was so low on the first camera, but the rest looks good. So this is the important stuff you can actually see here. So we're going to be using the Baubles. So the Delicate Baubles dies from the Christmas catalog. So these are some last chance products that will be retiring when the catalog retires on January 3rd. So you can only get them till then, or once they sell out, they sell out. So the stamp set is actually sold out, but we're going to use the dies, which are awesome, and you don't need the stamp set to partake with the dies. So we're going to use those. I'm going to show you guys how to use some adhesive sheets, and then after that, we will be using the All Squared Away die set, and I'll show you how to use the adhesive foam sheets on this one. So we'll get to use a couple different types of adhesive tonight, and I'll give you some tips and tricks, and then I have some samples. I saw these flowers, some samples to share with you, and then at the end I also made some cards with our new Love and Happiness stamp set, which is in the new mini catalog that comes out in January. So I will share those at the end, and I'll probably do a video Friday or Saturday. So let's get started. Let me move these out of our way. Get our paper ready. So let's take a look at our card tonight. So this is the card we'll be making. We're going to change up the colors, but I'm going to show you how to use the foam sheets here. So I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but there's solid foam under there instead of just using little dimensionals to try to, especially because the frame is skinny. So that's what we'll be using there. And let me give you a couple more samples. So here's the stamp set first. And take a quick look at that. So there's some images that you can stamp in a square and use as a background for your flower. And then some fun sentiments for birthdays and things like that. So we will be doing ours, and I pre-cut some of our pieces. The rest of them we'll do together. So we're going to use Highland Heather on the card that I'm making. This one is actually Magenta Madness, just in case you're wondering. Sometimes the colors are a little off on the camera. So let's take a look at some additional samples. So here is another one with some of the dies in the stamp set. So I made this one with Coastal Cabana and some Daffodil Delight. And again, same kind of style card, just using different squares with the flowers. Now this one I glued flat, and I don't know if you can tell or not. Let's see if I turn it that way. This is all flat, so you could see there's a little bit more dimension, obviously, when you use your foam dots on that one, and then I changed up the tag a little bit for that. On here, for this sample card, this is actually some new paper in the new mini catalog that's coming out, and it's the back of one of the rainbows. Now for this one, I stamped or die cut it in white, and I colored it with my blends markers and then my Wink Estella. I don't know if you can tell that on camera. It's a little glittery in there, so the flowers are glittery. So that's what I did on this card. So let's move our samples out of the way. Get some of our products in that we're going to use. Oh wait, did I show you this one? I didn't show you the little mini card. So this one is fun. I made a little 3x3 card. So basically you just cut your cardstock 3x6 and you score it at 3. And they fit in our little mini square envelopes that we have. And they also fit in the acetate boxes. Let's see, Hannah has a question. The square grid paper. Oh, that was last year's Christmas grid paper. We don't sell it anymore, but I had a few sheets left. So I thought it'd be fun to use as a background. So that is where it came from. And then the other side is red. So it matched one of our designer papers I think we had in last year or the year before's Christmas catalog. Okay, so back to this little guy. So this one actually, if you look here, this is the stamp. So this stamp right here is what I used for the background. Then I die cut that same black out and I glued it flat on here and die cut an extra purple flower. So anyway, you can make lots of fun stuff. The stamp does a really nice job if you use your foam mat underneath too. When you have a solid image like that, it's helpful to use your foam mat. So let's take a look at the dies real quick before we make our card. Let's see. So we're going to use the same flower, I think. We'll pull that die out. I always like to have pieces in here when I test out when I first get my dies. So we're going to use this one. And then we're going to use the flower. So it die cuts all in one color, and then you can die cut the flower top to be any color you want separately. So if you want to take a look at some other pieces I've made, I don't think this one got used yet. So there's some flowers. Then I did them all in green, and I thought it'd be nice if you had the green flowers and then, you know, the leaves, and then you could put the flowers on top. And then here's another idea. So I just die cut it in the white, and you can cut a square, which is about 1 3/4 inch, and glue it to the back. So you can put any patterned paper behind there, glitter paper, lots of different options. So this is a really fun stamp set. And I'm so glad I finally broke it out. I've been in such Christmas mode that I kept forgetting to use this one. So before the spring stuff gets here, we need to do a little stamping with some stuff we had before. All right. Pulling out a few more things we need. All right, so let's do a little stamping. I think we just need our sentiment. So we will go ahead and use some black ink for that. And I already pre-cut my labels. So these are both from the Tasteful Labels die. And that's one of my favorites. You'll see me using them quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and ink up our stamp, and we're going to put the same sentiment, "You are so worth celebrating." And then you could put the happiest birthday stamp inside if you wanted. Or you can leave it to be any other sentiment you want. All right, so we're just going to stamp straight down. Oh, you know what? I already let it go. Shoot, I wanted to show you guys. All right, well, hopefully it comes out good. I'll flip it over, but I cut my foam mat in half. So they come in a large piece, and I cut this one in half for classes so I could have them for people. But when there's this skinny sentiment, I find sometimes it's easier if you have this foam mat underneath you. You get a better stamped image. Okay, this is never going to line up because I gently touch the paper, but let's try it and see. Ooh, that's not too bad. I think I'm good. Woohoo! We will leave that. Okay. Hi, Sherry and Bob. I'm glad you guys are here and you found me. So yay, welcome. Okay, so we got our sentiment. Make sure you use your foam mat. A lot of times I recommend it for photopolymer, but I've been finding it works really well with the orange stamps when the writing is super skinny. So just a little helpful tip for you there. And let's see, what do we want to do next? So we're done with our stamping, not too much on this card. I'm going to show you how to, oh, that's extra in case I needed it. So we're going to glue these together afterwards. We'll set all these little pieces over here and get our dies ready. And I'm going to show you how to work the adhesive foam. So these are foam sheets we have. So it's kind of like one huge block of a Stampin' Dimensional. So instead of having your little hexagons, it's one big sheet. It's pretty much the same thickness, I think. Yeah, they look like the same. And then all you do is decide how much you want. So we're going to die cut the black paper. So I kind of cut it about the right shape and size there. And we're going to estimate on here. We'll just line it up. We're going to cut the foam sheet. And don't use your favorite scissors because they might get a little sticky. All right. Then there's a paper on both sides, so you peel off the one side of your paper and stick it on to the cardstock. So there's a little extra here. I'm going to cut this piece off so it doesn't stick to my machine. See, it's very sticky. All right, might have to clean that up later on my scissors. So this is a stamp set, just to give you some background. So this is in your annual catalog. So this is good and available through the end of the catalog, which is, I believe, the end of April. And all right, so we have our piece of cardstock ready to go. We're going to die cut the flower out of that, and then the purple one's going to come out of this one. So let's get our die cutting machine out, move some things out of the way. Does a little slip sliding. All right. So since we are die cutting, we're going to use plate 1, and it tells you on here with your thin die adapter. So we're going to need this, and we'll test it. This foam is pretty thick, so we'll see if it's too fat to go through or not. And then our 2 sandwich plates, our clear plate number 3. All right. Now, if that doesn't stay easily, I could always put some washi tape on there. Hopefully it stays and it doesn't slide on me. Let's see how we do. And I don't know if we need to go back. Let's go back because it's so thick. You want to make sure it cuts through all the layers. I'm rocking the camera a little bit. Now we can pop it out and see. Looks like it cut through pretty well. And then we'll do our little purple flower on our Highland Heather. And we'll just run this guy through. We probably could have used the mini machine even, now that I'm thinking about it, because the dies on this are small. All right. Let's move the machine out of the way. Okay. Now we have all our pieces. We have our flower. Now you could have even put foam on here and made it even taller if you wanted, or dimensionals behind that, but we're just going to leave that one layer. And put our scraps over there. And we're just going to punch out these pieces. Our extra foam. And where's my pokey tool? All right, so we can take the die. We'll set them over here. Move our extra dies over here. And we'll just peel these pieces apart. And now we can assemble our card. I'm going to leave the little dot in there. It makes it easier to attach the rhinestone so it doesn't fall in that little hole. Let me know if you guys have any questions along the way. All right. So we'll get our sample. And did I bring the glue dots? Yes, I did. Okay, good. All right, so now let's put a little glue on everything. So we're going to glue our base and our paper together. Now this polka dotted paper that I'm using is actually that host party paper. Part of our hostess rewards that you can spend. There's an awesome pack of paper in there, and it has tons of patterns. So one side has colors, and the other side has lots of black and white images. So it's one of my go-to packs of paper. And I think there's like 48 sheets, so it's huge. All right. I see my white piece sticking out the bottom. So since we're using a black card, unless you have a white like glittery pen, it's always good to put an inside panel inside your card so you can write a nice message. You can stamp some more. If we wanted, we could put the happiest birthday stamp inside. But right now we'll just leave that empty. Grab our bone folder so we can crease our card. All right. So we'll put our sentiment on here. And then we'll pop up the purple piece. So now it's just assembling our card. A few of these guys for good measure. Alrighty. Put that kind of near the top. And then we'll do the flower. So now all you have to do, now that you have this foam, and you can see it's like the exact shape, so you're not trying to put all those little dimensionals, you just peel off the backing and And you can stick your little flower down. You can put a little glue on here. Don't need too much, it'll ooze out. And it's slightly, some of the petals may be slightly a different shape, so you may take a minute to figure out which way they go. That looks about right. Perfect. Grab our bow. I already tied it in advance since bow tying on video never works well. So if I can do that in advance, I usually try to. So the glue dots make it easier for you to attach any kind of ribbon. And what I do is, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little sticky dot there, and I like to put the bow on top of it, like right at the knot, and then peel it off together. Put it in the corner, just like the other card. And then we need to add a rhinestone. So we'll pick one of these big ones. And just set them in this corner. We have like a little bit of wet glue in there, but it should be okay. Unless it wants to stick to my finger instead. All right, there we are. And if you wanted, you could even use your Wink of Stella to color up your flower even more. But I think that looks good. All right, so there's card number 1 that we'll be working on. So what do you think? I guess it depends if you're a pink or a purple fan, or neither. So you'll have to let me know which card you like better. It's pretty much the same except for a different color selection. So those are the all squared away stamps and dies, and they are just so much fun to play with. So you can take a look at the samples again. Let's see. So these are our different samples. Lots of fun colors. I'm guessing, Hannah, you like this one because it has Coastal Cabana, but that's just my guess. All right. So let's regroup. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way and show you our next project. All right, purple. There's one vote for purple. So these are our mini paper pumpkin boxes, and they hold the size of it. So they hold note cards. You can put candy in them. They're food safe. And I decorated the top with some heartwarming hugs paper, which is already sold out. And this is a coordinating stamp set for the dies we're using today. And again, that's sold out too. So when things go on the last chance clearance rack, you got to be quick about it. But the dies are not sold out, and they're even prettier than the stamps. So let's take a quick look at these. So these are different tags that I've made. So I've die cut this one, colored it with the markers, and then I stamped. And I posted some of these pictures on my Facebook page as well. So if you've been on there, you might have seen some of these. So these are different tags I've made. These are using the green foil. So we're going to use that foil tonight on our tag, and it's in the clearance rack. It's on the last chance, and I think it's on sale, which is even better. And then you'll see I've used some rhinestones on here, same ones we've been using tonight. This one I just left loose. This one I glued down, and we used adhesive sheets, so I'll show you how to use those tonight. And then you can even put them on patterned paper, which looks really pretty as a background. That's the dotted paper. And then you can make it like a fold open tag if you wanted to write a longer message than just the to from, like on the back of this one. So the stamp that we are using is from the stamp set, but I'm sure amongst your stamps there may be a to and from in your collection. So that's all you really need to go with the dies. Let's pull out some of our stuff we'll be using. Some more gems. The ribbon we're using is the sheer red ribbon, and this is retiring also. I think that it's still in the online, on my online store, so I think you're still able to buy that, and it's on sale too. I think it's like $5 or $6 a spool, maybe less. All right. So we will make the foil one first, and then I thought we'd kind of play around with this fun champagne and gold paper and make a second tag. So we'll just start with this one first. All right, so this is the tag we're going to be making. Of course, I put out all my stuff, then I have to move it out of the way. All right, so we have some silver threading, our red sheer bow, and then on this one I glued the white onto the green foil, and then this is going to be an opening tag, and I will show you how to make that. And then we're going to use the adhesive sheets. So let's pull these out. If I can find the open spot. Here we go. I think my pre-cut pieces might be too small. We'll take a new sheet. All right. And take a look at the dies in this set. So you have these two outside dies, and then there's ornate inside ones. And there's a couple of different patterns. There's a little slot to use for the stamped image, and then this really cute bow. So tonight we're going to use this, and we're going to do the snowflake again. So let's put these aside. And using this adhesive sheet is similar to what we just did on the foam sheet. So our first thing we will do is we're going to make this little opening. So in order to make your tag open, you're going to want to fold over your cardstock. So for this one, I think I did, let's see. Yep, so it's 3 inches wide by 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So it's just the 8.5, 3 inches. And I folded it in half. I didn't even measure it. I just folded it and scored it with my bone folder. So that's what we're going to use to cut this template out. Then we're also going to do white in this one, and then one more in the green foil. So we have a little bit of die cutting to do. But before we do that, I want to show you how to put on the adhesive sheet. So let's get this, make sure this is wide enough. Okay, so that looks good. So we are just going to cut our sticky sheet about here. I don't cut a very good straight line. And about here. So that looks about right. Then we're going to peel off the paper. And again, this is sticky on both sides, so it's a little hard to peel off sometimes. All right, so we are going to stick this on here. Oop. A little crooked. We're going to trim this piece off because it's super sticky. I'll have to clean my scissors. A good tip: when you get too much gummed up stuff on your scissors and your blocks, you can use rubbing alcohol or your hand sanitizer, which we all seem to have a lot floating around. So we could use that. All right, so we'll just trim this piece off since we already have it. And then you want to make sure you put, when you're cutting it, you want to cut on this side. Now this one doesn't matter because there's no writing, but if it had writing, if you cut on the wrong side, then your words would be backwards. All right, so let's do some of our die cutting. Move our paper out of the way, get our machine back in. And again, since we're die cutting, it's the same sandwich we had earlier. And we're just going to make our sandwich. And because you're cutting through sticky stuff, I would recommend running it back and forth so it gives it a good cut. All right. We can double check that. It looks like all the lines cut through pretty well. We're going to set that aside. And now we'll do our green. So now we want to do the background for that snowflake. So we're going to take this little bit larger one. We're going to run that through to get our pretty foil. And you'll see how easy it is using the adhesive sheets and trying to put little sticky glue everywhere. I love the foil. All right. One more piece to cut for this tag is the folding tag. So now in order to make this foldable, you're going to want to leave this top piece off of the paper. So that piece is going to hang off. Maybe I should put Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't slide on me. Let's see if I need any washi tape. I think we're good. If you put it down the other way, you would have two separate pieces, and that's not what we were going for. And again, maybe since we're cutting two pieces of cardstock, we'll run it back through one more time. All right, that's all we need for this tag. Now it's just Stampin' Assembly. So you see how that opens now? All right. And then what happens is you're going to glue this over the top of it, so no one's going to really notice that there's a little piece right there. And then we're going to stamp on the inside. Those little paper pieces stuck. All right, so this time we'll just use some black ink. I think last time I used a green, but I have the black handy. So put that there. Looking for my cleaner. All right, not much stamping tonight, I guess, only a few things. I kind of wanted to show you how to use adhesive and get some more use out of your product. Some of you may have bought it a while ago and thought, oh, this is great, and then didn't know what to do with it. So, all right, I can pop this off of here. Actually, let's get the die brush box. So I keep one of my old paper pumpkin boxes with our brush and our foam sheet to kind of help pop little pieces out of your dies. Makes it easier, and it collects all your garbage you can pour out later. All right, just a couple extra pieces. Can poke those out. That one's sticky. All right. I'm going to set that over there. So now we can put a little adhesive on the foil. Don't put it on the top because that's going to overhang. You just want to put it here so that it sticks to the base of your tag. Make sure you have the to and from in the right direction. I know from experience. You put it on the wrong side. All right. I want to make sure it's sticking. All right, that's sticking good. Then all you're going to do, well, not all, because it's hard to peel this little paper off, but it's still easier than gluing. All right, got us started. You're going to peel off the sticky back. And this is great for any of your intricate dies. It makes it much easier to put the sticky on. Let's see, I need some trash. And then you're going to overlay it on the top of your paper. And you'll set it down. Have you guys tried this adhesive sheets yet? You need the roller. Oh yeah, the little die brush. Yeah, these are awesome. Got to build up your supplies little by little. Okay, so now we have a beautiful tag. Look, it all sticks in all the places. There's no glue. Well, a little bit of glue, not too bad on your fingers. Then I have this little hole punch. So we are just going to line that up, and I think, I'm not sure, it's smaller than an office hole punch. It's one of the Stampin' Up ones we used to carry. So it's a little bit smaller. Going through all that cardstock. Just took a minute. All right, so I have that, and then I cut some of our silver twine. Hannah's a fan of this. I know she just ordered more. I saw her order. So this, it comes in a silver and a gold pack together. So we are, actually I think I like it going this way. So you're going to fold it in half and run it through the hole. Flip it over. Pull it through here. And you can make it at whatever length you want depending on what you're attaching your tag to. And then you could leave it loose and tie it around something, or you can, they look like little bug antennae, or you can roll them over and just tie them in a little knot. Just like when you're sewing, just a little starter knot, and then you could trim up the end. So where's my scissors? Here we are. And we can just trim them up. All right, so there you go. There's our first tag using adhesive sheets and using a folding tag. So the next tag we're going to make is the Merry and Bright tag, and we're going to leave that dangling and use it as a one piece. So let me show you. So I already die cut out the white one, so it's just like I did with the white piece previously. This is going to be our front, so we're going to put the to and from on the back. This time it's not going to be a folding tag. I don't want to write a message. I'm just to and from, and I'm good to go. So you're going to put that on there. And you can handwrite the to and from if you don't have the stamp, or if you have it from one of our other kits or stamp sets. Alrighty. Then we're going to try this champagne. My paper is super sticky. So I like shiny things. This is gold and rose gold 6x6 specialty paper. And it comes in a pack, and I've been using it all year. It's in the annual catalog, so it's not going away. You can easily get that. And where's our die? Let's see. So this time, we're going to use this one. Now this one's pretty ornate, so we need to make sure we run it through. Oh wait, I just took away my paper. It stuck to the bottom. So you're going to want this. This is a little bit thicker paper, and it has some backing. I don't think the backing peels off. Let's double check. Sometimes our backings do, but no, that looks like regular paper. I don't think it peels. I mean, you might be able to, but it looks kind of fuzzy. So we're going to leave it, but you want to make sure you run this one through a few times in your die cut machine. So let's go get the machine back out. I got a mess over here. Tonight's a messy class. And again, we're making our same sandwich because we're die cutting. This one we might even want to do 3 times. Try not to hit my laptop. Here we go. And it's always good. I like to flip my plates when I'm die cutting so they don't warp as much. So sometimes I'll flip the top to the bottom. Some people like the clean one always on top, but I don't like them to bow. So sometimes I'll flip them top to bottom or flip them over just to keep the bending to a minimum. All right. And then when you're running them through, you want to make sure it's on your plate very good. Of course, not the camera. Let's see. Okay, you can see a little bit better. Ooh, that's close. Okay. So this one's a pretty thick paper, so we're going to run it through a couple times. Like I said, maybe we'll do 3. And then if you try to keep it in the die so that you can make sure it cut through, if not, you can always give it another run through without it sliding. All right, well that part definitely cut. Throw that over there. And it looks like, if you take a look at it, it looks like it die cut nicely. So we're going to go with that. All right, back to our little box. And our little brush. Pop out all the pieces we can. Still quite a few in there. These are, because it's that thicker paper, you may have to pull out a little more. So you can just poke them out. All the big ones. Sometimes it's easier to see them on the back, and you just want to be careful you don't rip off a letter. So like some of these, a little more intricate. You don't want to pull off all the little doodads. So, pop it out of here too. Just make sure you don't throw out your die. That would be bad. Ooh, that looks pretty. I hadn't cut it out of this paper before. I like the sparkle. All right, a few more little pieces. Pop them and then fold it to the back so you can see them. So it looks like there's one more piece here. And again, this cuts easier out of regular cardstock. This is just a little thicker with the specialty paper. Takes a little more finesse. All right, that guy. And like I said, this is a messy night. I got stuff everywhere. Okay, perfect. So now for this one, look how pretty that is. Oh, I don't think you guys can even see the shine. Well, yeah, you can. I guess I'll do it at an angle. Then we're just going to line it up and use our hole punch to punch through the white cardstock. And I have some silver string somewhere. Let's see where I put it. Could be anywhere at this point. Ah, here we are. Okay. So I debated on gold or silver. I think the silver is prettier with it. But you could do either one. You could do white twine. Lots of different options. You can do thick ribbon even. That looks really pretty too. I just like the look of this. Thank you. I'm glad you think it's beautiful. All right, so we're going to do that. And again, we're just going to do the little knot at the end. I like that look. And we'll just slide it to the end of your twine. And that one's pretty long, so we can leave it uneven and then just trim off as much as we want. So that gives you a really pretty look too, so you don't always have to glue down your tag. So here's the one that we made with the foil, and it opens up. You know, we glued it flat. And then this one is just a loose and pretty one. You could have put colored paper, it might even be pretty underneath there. And we just stamped the back of it. So it still gives you gorgeous gorgeous tags. And like I said, these are last chance products, so they're still for sale in the online store. So if you're interested in those, please let me know if you need help ordering. I do have a host code, which I think I had on my screen earlier, and I will put in the links as well. But make sure you pick these up if you're interested, because they will be gone at the beginning of January when the catalog retires. So those are our 2 tags we made for tonight. Which one do you like better? Do you like them when they open? Or would you like one level with the little dangly? Now I like the color of this bling better than the foil is still pretty. So those are all our projects for tonight. Let me pull them out real quick, just so you can see what we worked on and the other samples. And there's our cards. We'll put that one down here. And then, I also wanted to share with you guys the projects that I made, and I think I'm going to do a separate video for these. But I was playing with our new products in the new mini catalog. So our spring catalog is coming out. And I really like this Love and Happiness stamp set. And it has a coordinating die and hybrid embossing folder. So it die cuts and it embosses at the same time. So I'll show you what I mean. And this has some good inside sentiments. So here's a card I made. And it die cuts and embosses. And it cuts the heart out. It has stitching around it. So I made this one as a wedding card, and I did a little bit of brushing of the ink on that one. Here's another one I was playing with. I don't know if you can tell that the heart's embossed, but a little bit hard on the camera. And then you open it up, and it has a sentiment. So it says, "To the cutest couple ever. You two have something really special. Each other. Congratulations." So that could be a cute little wedding anniversary card. And then this one is embossed as well, and I die cut the heart out and I put it on this card. So now I have 2 cards. And then there's another smaller heart, and then it has some nice labels in there as well. And here's that sheer ribbon that's retiring. So I used that because it coordinates so nicely. And then the dotted paper, again, is back to that host pattern paper that I was using earlier. And did a little stamping on the inside, so there's some more sentiment. Here's to another year of love, laughter, and happily ever after. Happy anniversary, my love. So really great stamp set. I'm excited about this one in the new catalog. So here are some additional projects. I have just started playing with them. I've been working on Christmas, so it's hard switching gears to the new catalog. Let me flip you guys back. So thank you so much for joining me. Couple things coming up. We have Paper Pumpkin. Let me see, I have a flyer for that. Our kit for January, so you have to subscribe by January 10th. And again, I'm not sure why my lighting is so dark, but oh well. I don't look pale this time. So our new Paper Pumpkin is Hugs and Kisses, and they will have an additional add-on so that the kit will be cards, and it'll be subtle colors with gold foiling, which look really pretty. And then they're going to have gold boxes. I think they're 10 in a kit, and they'll be for sale separately in the online store, I think end of January, after the kit goes out in the mail. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe by the 10th. And I have a little QR code up here you can scan, and that should get you there easily. Also, if you wanted to order any products from tonight, feel free to head over to my Stampin' Up store, and my host code is at the top. So I'd love your business. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, feel free to shop with me. And if you have questions, please reach out. What other things do we have coming up before we wrap up? Oh, we have January's card class is going to be Valentine and Stamping Bingo. So that will be held on Zoom, and it is January 29th at 5 p.m. Central. And if you're a newsletter subscriber, you will receive more information. So make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. That's where the links will be, and it should hopefully be going out in the next week or two for early registration, so we get our products in before back orders start in January. So we want to get it before the catalog, like right when the catalog goes live, to make sure we have everything we need for our class. And then if you're local, I have a Christmas card class. So it's our last one for the year. Is tomorrow at Cafe Bienville. So feel free to join me. I will have some black and white Christmas cards that are really pretty. And I hope to see everyone there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had a great time, and I appreciate all your comments and things. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.